Lights.
Camera.
Watch.
Strange Way of Life.
Yeah. Watch.
So this was an interesting movie because it was directed by, I believe, what's it called? Like a clothes designer, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, he's not a clothes designer.
He's not?
No.
Okay.
This is a very, very big filmmaker.
Oh, is he?
Yes. This is his second ever English language film.
Okay,
This is a short film.
Fail on my behalf.
The first English language film he's ever done, we also watched this evening.
So they okay, he did both.
But he's very much a Spanish filmmaker. You've probably heard of some of his stuff. Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown?
Nope.
Okay, Parallel Mothers, which came out
Nope.
like 2 years ago? Okay. All About My Mother?
Nope.
Okay, well then never mind. But he's
Fair.
very big.
Okay, this just shows my limitation. If it's like not Star Wars and like Disney or like, I don't know, Martin Scorsese, I have no idea who it is.
Well, honestly, I was pretty excited to see this because all of his films, were specifically Parallel Mothers, which came out in 2021. I was like, I'm going to put that on my list because I've heard a lot about this guy and I haven't seen any of his stuff. And then I completely missed it when it came to movie theaters, and then I didn't get a chance to catch up on it. And then earlier this year, I tried to watch Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown, which is probably his most, like, I'd say recognized film. And I tried to watch it off like a free streaming service. And for some reason, it didn't have a subtitle option.
Great.
So I was like, Spanish? I'm not watching all of this in Spanish. So I got about 15 minutes into it, and then I turned it off, and I was like, I'll pay for it another day. Okay. So this was my first thing I've seen by him.
So this guy is a renowned Spanish director.
Yeah.
And then from what it sounds like his previous movies that you kind of read off, it seems like he was more geared towards a lot of women-centric films.
I guess so, yeah.
So this movie itself, you know, starring Ethan Hawke and Pedro Pascal, or Papi Pascal, as they call him.
Hell yeah.
Did they call him that? I just made that up. I just thought it was funny. Anyhow, like these two guys back in the day were young gunslingers, and I guess like fell in love. Yeah.
I can't tell if this was I want to make a Western. Or if this was Saint Laurent's giving me money and I'm gonna make a Western.
Oh wow. So I watched this movie and there were so many references to Brokeback Mountain in so many ways.
Well, it's a gay cowboy movie, yeah.
I know, but I kind of felt like there was that line towards the end of the movie. Like, there's like, what would two like guys working on a ranch do with each other? You know what I mean? It was all like, spoiler alert, give each other comfort or something like that. So I just thought it was really endearing how they made it. Two top-notch actors. I love Ethan Hawke. I have seen so many of his movies. One of my favorite movies of all time of Ethan Hawke is Gattaca. Have you seen Gattaca?
Maybe. That sounds familiar.
That's the one where they bioengineer the kids. And they
I have not seen this.
You've not? Okay. Gattaca has to be a rewatchable. And Uma Thurman is in there too. And what's his name is in that movie?
Jude Law. Alan Arkin.
Yes. It is... You know, we will watch that movie.
Okay, I'm down. This looks interesting.
Yes, I think very much it's much more getting closer to the relevance of our day in society than anything else. But back to the movie.
You know, I met Ethan Hawke once.
Really?
He came into the donut shop I managed on the Cape. And the owner of the donut shop's wife is like this really, really kooky lady. And she was like, yesterday... I saw Ethan Hawke. And we're like, no, you didn't. You didn't see Ethan Hawke. Like, you were literally a crazy lady. Like, you didn't see Ethan Hawke. Cut to literally 5 minutes later, Ethan Hawke walked in the door. I was like, oh.
It's Ethan Hawke. And Ethan Hawke's also played in a lot of... I mean, he has just a great catalog of movies. He is fantastic. Have you ever seen Lords of War?
No, I've actually not seen a lot of his movies.
Really?
I can't even lie to you. I think I've only seen...
You
What's
have
the one where he's literally a child?
Oh, I don't know.
Yes, you do. It's the big one, Dead Poets Society.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say Training Day.
Oh no.
You haven't seen Training Day, bro?
No, I haven't seen Training Day. I haven't seen any of the Linklaters.
Wow, you haven't seen Training Day? Like honestly, like one of his best movies is Before Sunrise.
Yeah, I really, really want to see that trilogy.
Yeah. We'll watch it. We'll do a deep cut on all those movies.
I'm down.
That's like.
Have you seen Boyhood? Same director.
I've not seen Boyhood, but I'm assuming it kind of is related.
Well, yeah, I guess it's the same filmmaker with Ethan Hawke as a star, but it's the one they made over like 12 years, like of the kid actually growing up. Yes.
Well, that movie's kind of like a very similar concept as well too, with years apart. Anyways, back to this little beautiful Western we got over here. It was aesthetically beautiful. I just love the cinematography. I don't know if you want to call it the filter. Oh wow, that did happen. That did happen. By whoever's why we paused awkwardly, she had to show me a photo.
Me and Ethan Hawke.
You and Ethan Hawke. That should be like the photo that we'll just upload.
Thumbnail, yeah.
Yes, there you go. But I just feel like it's just very interesting to see certain stars at certain points in their lives doing roles. And I feel like at this point, they can just do whatever they want and people will just watch it and love it. And the movie theater was packed. Every seat was taken. It was a small movie theater, by the way.
I was very surprised, actually. Yeah. I honestly didn't think anybody was going to be there because it's like, it's a short film. Like, it's a 30-minute short that you're pulling up to and you're paying full price for. So it's like, I didn't know how many people. But granted, we do live in Los Angeles. And you'd be surprised how many movies I showed up to and I'd be like, there's going to be no one there. And it's like pretty much a full movie theater. Yeah. So honestly, I can't say I'm surprised. But it was nice to see. Also, I think stuff like this, it's just like, if you get an opportunity to work with like a filmmaker who's so well renowned as he is, it's like you just like jump on the opportunity. You want to be in my Western short? Absolutely, I do.
Yeah, there you go. What did you like about the movie?
Absolutely the style, like, and the filmmaking of it. It's obviously like, I don't want to say the script was weak, but the script was weaker. English is not his first language. Okay, like at the end of the day, like it is not his first language. So but it was fine. It did its job. But literally just like, it's such a simple, like most of it takes place in a single room. Most of it takes place outside, but like even then, like the set dressing was really, really beautiful, but also just like the cinematography and like just the way everything is shot. And I think that just speaks to this man's strengths. But also it's just like a masterclass in acting. Like the two of them just basically had like a rough short scene where everything escalates very, very quickly. Honestly, it could have been a full-length feature. It just wouldn't be a super, like, unpredictable feature. Like, you kind of see where it's going.
Yeah, I didn't anticipate what happened. I did feel like this movie had somewhat of, like, a soap opera, telenovela-ish kind of concept.
Very much.
You know what I mean? So I like that. As in some ways, it kind of felt very cheesy.
It felt very, very cheesy, but I kind of liked it because it was like it was almost acknowledging the cheese. Yes, it was like leaning into it, and I was like, okay, we're here. We're gonna make this soap opera Western, and just let Ethan Hawke and Pedro Pascal go crazy. Just like show off your skills.
Yeah, I just liked. I felt like there was no stunt doubles. Looked like they're both riding their horses. I was really interested.
In the very, very long credits for this very short, they did say they had stunt doubles, and I was like, when did they need a stunt double?
I have no idea. Pedro Pascal is known for, in The Mandalorian, that if there's ever like an action sequence and stuff like that, he goes like, fuck it, dog. Like, I'm not going to get injured, you know? I'm not like 20 years old, you know? I'm like really making my money now, you know?
Well, most of his stuff in The Mandalorian, I'm pretty sure he does not do in the suit.
I can imagine this. But you know what I really liked in the movie? I really wanted to know what they were eating. That meal looked so good.
It did look pretty good. Yes. I assumed it was like a stew.
Yeah, you know what I think it is? I could bet maybe it's a Spanish meal.
Probably.
It has to, like, I feel like it's like a popular Spanish dish, and it's probably like a Spanish dish the director is like known for, maybe for his region.
That would be unsurprising.
Yes. It was, you know what I liked about, I know we're obviously Saint Laurent like sponsored this movie or gave him a bunch of money. I really dug the fashion.
Well,
like,
yeah.
You remember that scene where they open the drawer? He's like, go get some, like, he's like, I have like no underwear, and he pulls out these underwears, and they're like the coolest underwears ever. And I'm like, I guarantee that's like a modern underwear, or like they really had to retro style, like really like old.
I was gonna say they look like cool old timey underwear. I wouldn't describe them as modern.
There was a sequence when he's
just his like green jacket too.
Yes, yeah, I know, right? Like, why? It's so cool. There was that sequence where Ethan Hawke is like trying to tie his little bow tie, and I felt like every time that he doesn't know how to tie a bow tie, so every time it was cut, and every time it was like a different part of it, and then it got done. I don't know. I could have been mistaken. I did like their names. I just like the name Silva. I don't know if he had like a full name, but I just liked them that he called them that. It's a cool name.
I was gonna, when you said I like their names, I immediately thought Jake. Is that creative of a name?
No, it's not Jake. No, Silva. I just like how you call him Silva. But yeah, it was just like really cool. And I like the beginning part of the movie where the guy's just playing and singing a song.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
Especially because, like, the song's just playing, and for anything, that could have just been a song playing, but then it cuts to the character actually standing there and singing.
Who was that guy?
I have no idea. I
was
can look it up.
Was he the person that was working in the jail cell?
I don't think so. I think
No?
he's just a cool town dude who's singing his song.
So apparently,
He's credited as singer.
Yes.
And nothing else, so I think he just stood on his own.
I guess so. Maybe he's just a singer. There you go. Good for him. Anyhow, I never thought the movie would turn to the sequence of the action, fighting, and stuff like that. So, lo and behold, little plot spoilers.
Come on, you know movies. If a gun is shown early in the film, the gun will be used by the end. Come on.
What if that never happens? What if some person gets rid of the gun and just like makes a metaphor for peace? Just because we have weapons doesn't mean we have to use them. We can use our words.
In a Western sub, where one of them is the sheriff and they're looking for a criminal, there's gonna be a gun.
You know what I also felt cheesy about it? It's like, your son's the only one with a limp.
I thought he was gonna shoot his son.
Oh.
To be completely honest.
No, but you know what's funny? He didn't have a limp when he was just like moving and walking around.
He was tackling the sheriff on the ground.
I mean, like, seriously, how can you have a limp and you tackle the sheriff? Anyways, that action sequence is kind of cool. And it kind of reminded me of that Spider-Man meme where they're both all pointing guns at each other.
Okay.
Or that sequence in The Office where everyone's pointing fake guns at each other. So, I don't know. It was really interesting.
I liked it.
No, I liked it too. You know what I want? It's just like, I want people to get chances, be creative. And maybe this movie, if it was like an hour and something minutes, maybe it would have been terrible. But like,
I respect the art of a short film.
Yeah.
I think if you are a filmmaker who has an idea and if you don't think it could be fleshed out to something, like, I think the idea of still making it and just making it short is genius. Because if you're gonna flesh it out and like add a bunch of stuff that you truly think doesn't need to be there to like suit your vision, like, then don't do it.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way about TV with all like extra seasons added.
Absolutely.
Or like all this stuff. Like, if you got something that's just like, I think a better example is the second one we saw. Where personally I kind of like the second one better than the first one. Are we going to talk
about the second one together? Are we combining this?
I'm down.
Okay, here we go.
I enjoyed the second short actually more than the first short.
I agree with you.
That one felt like the first one felt like, granted, if he made like a full-length Western, it would just be like a Western. Not that a Western's wrong, but like, I kind of liked that it was a short and it did exactly what it did. It told the story between the two guys and then it moved on. But like, it could have been a full-length movie. Like, you could have added more things in a Western-y town like pretty easily and fleshed it out. While the second one was like wild turn of events, essentially just like a phone call.
Yes.
But if that was any longer, like, it would have been ruined.
Yeah, I thought that was like a great monologue.
Oh my god, Tilda Swinton went crazy in that. So what was the second one called? The Human Voice?
Yes, The Human Voice.
Did you have anything else to say about The Strange Way of Life, or can we?
No, I just thought it was great. I like the way they ended it. They made it really realistic. One thing I'll add,
very wholesome ending.
But you know, it was very smart. Silva was very smart. He's all like, when I get into town, I'm gonna tell everyone that you like tried to kill me and stuff like that. And it's like, how are they gonna believe like someone bandaged you up and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I just thought it was like in your face, like, I'm smarter than you, bro.
He made a good point, and he clearly wasn't trying to kill him.
Yeah, he loves him.
He was trying to shoot his son.
Yeah, and he gave his son money. He's like, run away. I like how he's like real with his son. He's like, you're a piece of shit, but it's like,
you're garbage, and I will shoot you if you don't leave now.
Yes, and his son seems like a spoiled kid. He's like, this is not enough. He's like, work, you piece of shit, go work. You know, I can't just give you money. You can't keep taking care of your fuck ups. You know. Anyways, Tilda Swinton. Am I pronouncing that right? Swinton. Forgive me. The Human Voice. That was a great monologue. I just love the fact that she's like the beginning of the movie. She's in that gorgeous red outfit.
Yeah. She also had killer outfits throughout this.
Yes.
Did you look up if the second one was sponsored by Chanel?
I think it was sponsored by Chanel.
Is it just because they mentioned the Chanel bag? Or
I think so. I was reading through it. I was trying to find something that said Chanel, but like I can't find it. But it had to be sponsored by Chanel.
Well, first of all, anything just opening with like Tilda Swinton in sunglasses, a killer outfit, just shopping for an axe with no context. It's like, that's all I need. You've sold me. I'm so excited for what's coming next.
How beautiful was the setup of the hardware store where all like the axes were just looked like they had designer covers. Like everything. And when the person came and helped them, like when she was checking out, she was obviously in Europe because they're paying in euros. And the way they were gift wrapping the axe was like
awesome.
It was like perfect. It's like, it looks like that's how like you.
That felt, just that part of the wrapping of the axe felt very Wes Anderson.
Yes, I felt like the person that was wrapping that was like an actual like art designer for fashion to wrap it the way they did. You know, or am I giving it too much credit?
I think you're giving it too much credit. I think it was nicely done, but I wouldn't be like, wow.
Yeah, I think also the other star of that little short was the dog.
Incredible dog.
Great dog.
Incredible dog.
But it just takes, it's like she's not even outside, she's like inside like an underground house.
I wanted to ask you do you think it was just a short film, so they made the house set clearly a set to save money because they knew they were going to burn it down, or is it supposed to be like a metaphor for something like none of this is actually happening or real? Or did you think it had like a deeper meaning, or it's just like this is what we have?
I thought it was like a scenario playing in her mind. You know what I mean?
Did you think it was supposed to be a play?
I think so. I mean, I could be wrong, but it's sort of like, I don't know too much about the director's past. You know, you would think we'd do some more research before.
I just thought it was interesting because it clearly, like, it takes place in like a gorgeous house set, but the house set is clearly a set. And there are multiple shots in it where there's like one pretty early on where it like, well, the opening shots of her walking from the hardware store, she walks into like a studio lot. But then there's like a scene early on where she's sitting in the house and the camera lifts above. And you can see all the rooms, which was super, super cool. And then there are like multiple sequences throughout after where they're like walking around the end and you can clearly see that it's like a fake built set, but like she's having the whole thing is like her having a conversation with her husband on the phone.
Using not using an Apple phone, an Android.
Was she using an Android?
Yes. Which is very uncommon. I usually see like iPhones in movies.
Well, do you know the thing about iPhones in movies? That if you are the villain of a story, you cannot use an iPhone?
Shut up.
So some things pretty early on you can spot who might be the bad guy because they'll be using an Android. A very famous example is in Glass Onion.
Oh, wow.
In the first Glass Onion, or not the, what am I talking about? Knives Out. In the first Knives Out, Jesus. Every single person has an iPhone except for Chris Evans' character and Ana de Armas's character.
Oh, wow.
So it's pretty much like between the two of them, like who's going to be the bad guy.
That's so cool.
You didn't know that?
No, man.
That's like an Apple like contract thing. Like you can't have the villain hold our. You can't have like someone doing bad things hold our phone.
Our product.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Because Tilda Swinton takes the call on AirPods. What with an Android phone?
I don't think they're AirPods.
Well, they look like AirPods.
They all look like some type of form of Beats.
You
know, because I was looking at the case. It wasn't an those. You know how Apple AirPods look like? The new ones look like that, or the Pros look like that. But I really like the conversation she was having. I find it really fascinating when people can dialogue like that. They just, I mean, not that, they just can monologue like that.
Yeah.
Just talking to themselves. And it's like, really, there's like a person there.
I mean, as good as the acting was in the first short, Pedro and Ethan Hawke just like going crazy. Tilda Swinton really ate this one up. In other words,
no, she's a fantastic actress. Like, all credit to her. And just like the simple things that she was doing, and like you know what I really liked? There was that sequence where she was trying to OD or trying to like sleep, and she took all these like drugs that looked like candy. It was so perfectly made. Like, it was just shocking. I thought she was gonna OD at that point.
I did too. Yeah. I thought it was gonna. Well, at that point we didn't really know what was gonna happen because she hadn't even like picked up the phone call yet. So I wasn't sure if this was gonna be like a descent into madness, if this was gonna be like a suicide story and like a different character was gonna come in. But that was an OD.
Yeah, I also found it really interesting. Like, when she woke up, she stuck her head in the shower and just washed her face like that.
Yeah, all of her clothes on.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. I thought, like, hey, that's kind of like a different way of doing it. Like, maybe you just don't want to shower, but you just want to wash your head. I just kind of found that kind of like very artistic. Like, have you ever seen that in a movie before? Like, someone just like putting their head down and just like rinsing it like that?
Honestly, no.
Yeah, that's why I just found it like, wow, this is very different. Like, a different thing. It was like someone's like losing their head.
Yeah, literally.
Yes. And then like the dog just coming in there, like the dog seemed like the moral compass. It's like, what are you doing? Like the sequence where she's like going crazy and like chopping up her suit. I felt like there was like seduced. I felt like she was like the other woman. Did you get that vibe?
Well, it was clear that her husband had left her for someone else. But I mean, at that point, I was like, at that point, I thought maybe she was just like losing her mind, and it was gonna cut to later that there was a body she was chopping up on the bed.
I thought that could have been it too. Like I thought like we would have like a sequence where this is her imagination playing out, and then we see like the dead body.
I thought that was what was gonna happen, but unlike A Strange Way of Life, this one was very, very well written.
Yes.
And the monologue, like the complete contradiction on the phone call of, oh, like, I've been waiting for you, I went out with my friends, I had a meal, I did all this thing, to like, no, like I've been waiting in the house, like basically killing myself
for you to return.
It was the complete like bait and switch, and I was like, oh my god, this is so good. Also, just the visual of her watering the plants with the gasoline was awesome.
No, I you know, that's what I like. Like, people need to take chances. Like, this is just like, you know, people like say art. I'm like, yeah, this is like art. Like, let take a chance. Let something be different. Like, give me a small piece of candy. That's all I want. You know, I don't want a box of chocolates. Just give me a small piece. I'll be happy with it, and we can talk about it, and people can dig deep into like everything from like what the dog's purpose was in the entire movie. You know. Like, it was just kind of weird. Like, the dog's just barking at her, like, whenever she was doing something reckless. What was that other scene? The dog was...
I think the dog is there to prove that, like, she's the crazy one in this relationship, and he probably left for a good reason, and she's probably crazy.
Maybe the metaphor is, like, the dog is the guy, because he's so well-mannered and behaved, and the only time, like, he, like, reacts is, like, when she goes nuts.
Maybe.
It's like, what are you doing? Like, the dog's like barking. It's like she's chopping out like the suit. The dog's like, stop. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of weird. And I also thought like the axing would be much more violent. Like the clothes would get ripped off or the bed sheets would get more ripped.
She held up the pants after and they were fully intact.
Yeah, maybe that's just something playing in her mind. Maybe she lost it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I just can't think of anything else, man.
She took exactly 13 pills. She definitely lost it.
Yeah. I didn't count on the pills she took, but it was...
She said it.
She said it? Wow.
It was her lucky number.
Is it? She just went up and down throughout the entire conversation. She was just up, down, up, down, up, down. It was interesting.
I loved the ending.
Yeah? Why?
I just thought it was kick-ass.
Would you like do it anything different?
Well, I guess I'd like to... I mean, maybe I'm just like numb in the head and I don't see the reference to the set, but I'd like to know more of like why it was to look like a set. But just the burning it all to the ground and watching the specifically the shot of her speaking through the flames was like my favorite part, because that was just a killer visual.
Yeah, maybe that's her just saying like, I'm willing to burn down my entire house.
Well, yeah, that's what she literally did.
I know, but like maybe it was like,
go to where you are, look towards the house that we shared together and watch it fucking burn, bitch. And
they obviously had a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you pay 50 euros for a fucking axe.
Also, can we talk about her film selection?
Kill Bill?
Kill Bill. Yes. She had Phantom Thread.
Oh, she had 50 Shades, I think. I think she had a 50 Shades of Grey book.
That sounds right. Then Jackie.
Yes. Wow, like all women just seeking like kind of revenge.
Revenge, literally.
Yes. But yeah, that was just like a cool part. It's like Kill Bill DVDs and stuff like that. It was kind of funny. You know what I mean?
It felt like, because honestly, like, it felt not really tied down to like a time period, but then when you whip out like Phantom Thread, it's like, okay, it can't be that long ago.
Yeah. Well, this was made in 2020.
Yeah, it was.
Well, that was spectacular. I just thought
very, very cool.
Yes. And
since we went to a screening for The Strange Way of Life, and this one was just like an added bonus thing.
That was kind of cool that they
did that. We weren't really, it was. It made it worth it, because at the end of the day, we did pay a movie ticket for a 30-minute short film, so at least that they fleshed it out to an hour was like nice. And then I feel like it also gave an opportunity for anybody who didn't see this first one, because like, it was 2020 and like COVID times.
Yes.
To check it out, because I definitely wouldn't have checked it out unless it was just like played for us.
You know what's really cool about both the movies? Like when the movies end, the ending credits are all beautiful.
Very, very beautiful.
Yes. Usually just get like a fade to black and just like credits. They're just beautiful, the credits on these.
Well, the whole thing was, I think that's really this guy's like specialty is just aesthetics more than anything else. But I'm into it. Like, I want to watch Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown.
Women on a Verge of a Nervous Breakdown? On a verge of a nervous breakdown. Oh, this is a movie like that takes place in 88.
Yeah, it's like really big.
Antonio Banderas is in it too.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn. Big movie in Espanol. Anyways, I don't have any more to say about these.
I don't either. I had a blast. These were
so
awesome.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.